MLB 14 The Show for PS4 is an absolute game changer when it comes to graphics. It has blown everything else out of the water. We know when NBA 2K14 came out, the graphics were amazing on that. But just think about this. When it comes to PS3, MLB The Show was the absolute pinnacle of what graphics were. It was the game to beat. When it comes to sport games, there was nothing even close to graphics when it came to MLB The Show. Now with PS4 being released, the expectations were very high, obviously because the graphics on it had been great before, but now they've been given this new platform that's going to allow them to have even better and better graphics. When NBA 2K14 came out, everyone was like, wow, okay, this can look really good. Now, MLB 14 The Show has very high graphics, had very high expectations after NBA 2K14 came out, so we'll see if it stacks up in the actual gameplay, because when there is such focus on graphics, did they really get everything else right? Is it a fantastic game? If you don't mind my pun, is it a strikeout or is it a home run? Let's find out.
Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and jump right into some of the changes brought into MLB 14 The Show for PS4. Now, I believe it also is in the PS3 version and whatnot, but clearly graphics have improved a ton now. When I'm playing it like this, and forget the meter though, but the graphics from behind the mound look absolutely outstanding. I mean, people walk by and they're like, what the heck? I mean, it's incredible. But as far as gameplay changes go, as you can see, as soon as I stepped up to pitch, the count was full, I believe, and right now it's full and I've only thrown 2 pitches, so how did that happen? It's an addition to the game. It's called Quick Counts. It makes it so you can get through games much, much faster. And I know baseball, there's 162 games in the season, so it's essential that you be able to find a way to just get through the season faster. So it kind of bases off the stats of the pitcher and the batter and gives you the best count for that situation. So if Carl Crawford's a good contact hitter or whatever, they'll give him a few more strikes and maybe a few more balls if they like to draw walks more and they get more balls to start, and kind of stuff like that. It's really strange. It's kind of weird, but it does allow you to get through games faster. Now, obviously the pros, you get through games faster. However, I have experienced before with my particular game mode that it takes, it doesn't take any longer. It's just really strange because Mike Trout is someone I want to be doing really well on my team, and every time he comes up, he's got like an 0-2 count, and it's just frustrating to say the least. It's kind of, it's a good thing that it's there. It's just almost unplayable. It's just weird. I don't know how else to describe it, but that is what Quick Counts is. Now, one of my favorite things about this new version of MLB 14 The Show is the interface, the menus, the way they work is just fantastic. I love the big scoreboard feel, the images in the background. It also shows you, once you go into that category, all the different options that you're going to have, so you can see. And then you go over, and they just have really cool like picture tiles, and it like lights up a certain area of the actual picture. But it's a very nice feel to it, and it's something I really appreciate, because I know in a lot of games the menus are just weird and they don't make sense and they don't look very good. So I'm glad that they put a little bit of time into actually making the menu nice. What I don't really appreciate is the background is always the same thing. MLB 14 The Show banner on top. I'm going to show you a little bit about what the franchise looks like, give you a little bit of idea of load time. Really quick and snappy, but you can see that it's kind of the same thing. The big billboard, the background's the same. It doesn't change, which is a little frustrating. But you can see it's just the tiles with the image in the background, and it really is the same thing carried throughout, which I guess that would be the con of the interface, but it's kind of cool how you go back and forth these tiles and you can see they change. So it goes from batting average to scoring leaders to home runs, stuff like that. So they're very interactive and updated. It's very cool to deal with. However, like I said, it's just kind of a strange thing that they don't update the background at all. But really, for interface, I give it an A+ in this game. I think it's absolutely fantastic. I don't think it could get much better at all. So that is all I have for the interface. Now, franchise mode is very fun in this game. However, I must mention it's very unrealistic. Now, you can look at my pitching rotation: Chris Sale, Steven Strasburg, CC Sabathia, Darvish, Jeff Samardzija, and my bullpen's pretty stacked as well. I have a whole bunch of other starting pitchers along with Brian Wilson and Aroldis Chapman. Now, my lineup is ridiculous. Mike Trout, Yasiel Puig, Bryce Harper, David Ortiz, Salvador Perez, Anthony Rizzo, Manny Machado, Starlin Castro, Gene Segura, and then, not to mention Billy Hamilton, Ryan Howard, A-Rod on the bench. I was the Brewers, for goodness sakes. I mean, they're good, but how should I be able to trade for that many people? Like, I'm going to show you some of the trades that actually went through. It's actually unreal. Like Drew Smiley for Cliff Lee, they'll say that's okay. Get to another one right here. It's just unbelievable. I can get Alfonso Soriano, Ichiro Suzuki, and Derek Jeter for a guy that's 59 overall. Like, I know they're trying to clear their salary and stuff like that. It kind of makes sense. But would the Yankees ever make that trade to the Brewers? I don't think so. Or Jason Greeley for this guy. Like, the franchise is all fun, but you can make a complete amazing team out of nothing, which is just unrealistic. But of course, when we're talking about MLB The Show, we have to be talking about Road to the Show. More than likely everybody's favorite game mode. Now, when we get into it, we'll see a very similar style setup for the interface, as well as this is the new training system now. It's very, very much like the other ones. However, now you do not have to complete any more of the association goals for you to improve. So typically they give you about a month, and then they say, here's 3 things we want you to improve on. And I remember in the older games, you didn't improve on them, tough luck. I mean, you're not moving up anywhere. Even if you hit 40 home runs in half of a year, you're not moving anywhere. So gladly they took that out finally, and now that it is out, a lot of things have become easier in this game, because then you can improve the skills you want to, and then they call you up on a basis of performance pretty much. So if you're hitting a very good average, or you're batting in a lot of runs, hitting a lot of home runs, whatever the team is looking for, it's a lot more realistic in terms of what you get promoted for. So we're going to look a little bit of the load time to get into a game, and just so you know, we're going to look at a little bit of gameplay, but I have set to only, what do I have? I have it set to only batting because I was trying to get my way up to the majors. I finally made it up to the majors. It took me my first year and then a half of the second year, and I'm in the majors as a 19-year-old, so it's pretty exciting. I have to turn back on my other features. I have forgotten to do that. But I want to give you guys a good feel of what MLB 14, the show for PS4, Road to the Show, the mode actually looks like. You will only get to see hitting, unfortunately. However, fielding is something I haven't addressed, and it's something that's very, very awkward. Like, believe me, they hit the ball and it's coming from behind you. But as you can see here, I have on zone. I don't do analog. You can do zone or analog or zone plus analog, but I just have to get the ball in my little batting zone.
MLB The Show has baseball from the Lone Star State as we get a look
however you like
inside
to hit it,
Globe
contact
Life
swing,
Park.
swing, power
Tonight,
swing,
game
all
2
that
of this
jazz.
3-game
So we're coming
interleague
into the
series
game right here
between the
at
Philadelphia Phillies
the ballpark in
and
Arlington.
the Texas Rangers.
Getting ready to play a baseball game. I am the right fielder for the Texas Rangers. Let's get going. So you can simulate up into your at bat, and here I come straight into the plate. This is me.
Will get
Benjamin
his
Anders
first
is my
cuts
real
here
name.
with 2 gone now and a runner at first.
And you can see some cool cutscenes of mascots, stuff like that. I'm sorry about the connection to the Wi-Fi thing. It comes up more than once. It's just my Wi-Fi is really stupid here at my parents' house. But here we go.
And just lucky to make
And all the
contact
animations
on
are
that
very
one as
cool,
it's
and I
dropped
do
foul.
swing at a really, really, really dumb pitch here. I remember. That's the thing that's tough about the show. Sometimes they look like they're kind of going in the zone and they go outside a bit. See that?
Oh, and he's
I mean,
really
to me,
getting
that
the
looked
better
kind of
of it
like a
now.
change
It's
up low in the
strike
zone,
two.
and then just
And now with the
completely
0-2
dropped
count,
off the
he's
table,
got
like
probably 5
completely.
different
And it's
pitches
really
he can
hard
throw
to
here.
tell.
So as a hitter, what are
I
you
think
gonna
I'd
do?
get better plate discipline my second
Swing,
at
hard
bat
hit
or
ball
third
to
at bat,
second.
but here we go, ground out right for the
Throw on
second
to
baseman.
first, and that error won't come
Now this
back
game
to
mode,
haunt him.
I would say, has improved just because of those other reasons. I would say if anything improved the most
Benjamin
in
Andrus will
on
stand
this
in.
game, it
He
would be the
grounded
Road to
out
the
his
Show
first
mode.
time.
And the quick counts is also something I
Fastball
believe
here as
that
he'll take a look
was
at
a
ball one.
necessary
1-0.
addition that they made. I do agree with it. I think it was definitely needed in this
Good
game.
lead
So here
off
I
the second
finally
there,
take
now
a
the
ball,
pitch.
and then I swing
And
at a
this is
ball.
fought
I
off
don't
at the
know.
plate
It was
as
very
it's chopped
close in my
foul.
mind.
2 runs,
Again, it
4
looks like it's
hits,
going in the zone, and
and
it just
no
doesn't.
errors
So
in the
it's kind of
contest
stupid
for
how
the
that
Rangers
works.
so far.
and I get a hold of one, and I'm like, okay, yes, I get to hit a home run when I'm doing a review, but no. Goes to the wall, but you can see a little bit of what the ball trail looks like when you hit it. It actually puts a little tail behind the ball, and the camera angle you get when you hit it, that's exactly what a home run will look like, except you'll round the bases instead of run back to the dugout. 0 for 2 so far. I need to get a little bit better, but there's a runner in scoring position, so I can bat him all the way around, and I get a good pitch. I wait on it a little bit to send it back where it came from, and it just goes over the second baseman's head. Was going to go to 2, but I feel like I would have gotten thrown out, so I'm coming back to first. I'll take an RBI single in that situation, and that will make the coach very happy.
Now you can pretty clearly see.
But as you can see, I'm just simulating to get back to my next at bat. I don't do fielding or base running or anything like that until I can get good enough speed to do base running, and then I am going to start doing fielding. I just kind of forgot to switch my things. I didn't want to do fielding until I got to the major leagues, but now I'm here, so I'll have to make that adjustment accordingly. So here we come in with another hit, solid contact base hit. You get kind of training points based on that, and after the game I'll mention something. So right in the top left it says plus 169 XP. Now that XP goes throughout your entire game, whether you're playing a pickup game, a home run derby, if you're playing Road to the Show, franchise mode, no matter what it is, you will be gaining XP no matter what you do in the game, just to kind of give you a sense of where you are and where you've been at in the game. Kind of like in FIFA, how you level up, just like that. Now, one other thing I want to mention about Road to the Show is now it is on carryover mode, so if you buy the next game, MLB 15 Show PS4, you'll be able to transfer your character over there. So that is all for this review. Please thumbs up, rate, subscribe, do everything you can to support me, and thank you very much for watching.